So the relationship between goals and beliefs, and this is a really, really interesting topic, and one that is so, so, so important for us to understand on many, many levels, because if we don't understand the relationship between our beliefs and our mindset, and the goals that we create, we find it really, really difficult to actually get the goals that we're going for. You know, one of the biggest things that I hear my clients say all the time is that they actually set goals and they don't seem to be able to get these goals into fruition, though they believe that they do all the correct things. And tonight I'm going to show you how your beliefs, and mainly your unconscious beliefs, actually run the show for you and stop you from getting your goals. So the training that I have done, and what all my seminars, webinars, everything is based on, is mainly on, first and foremost, neuro-linguistic programming. I am a master trainer of neuro-linguistic program. There is less than about 100 in the world at the moment. Excuse me, everyone. And I've been working in the field of neuro-linguistic programming for over 6 years now. I'm also a trainer of timeline therapy and hypnosis and NLP coaching. So the webinar, the knowledge that I bring to you has come from my many, many extensive years of studying NLP. I'm also a trainer of NeuroChange Method. Now, NeuroChange Method, which is what a lot of tonight is based on, with some NLP interwoven into it, is a scientific way of looking at our beliefs, our mindset, our unconscious mind, and neuroplasticity. And the two modalities, mold in together really, really beautiful. What I love about NeuroChange is the fact that it, after 6 years of doing NLP and timeline therapy, it gave me a way of understanding the science behind what happens when we do work with therapy. So like I said, I have many, many years behind me. Currently also doing a PhD. And so what I do is bring all my knowledge together to provide these webinars for you. So please enjoy, and if you have any questions, please yell out. So what is a belief? Now, this is really important to understand, because beliefs are more than what we actually think. It's an attitude or a conviction about the truth of some idea or concept. Now, everyone's belief around a certain subject, an idea, is completely different. We don't all have the same beliefs. We all have completely different beliefs, and we can all be looking at the same concept, the same idea, yet we think about it completely differently. So generally, our beliefs are basic concepts, things around us that are consistent, things we do not question. They're often shared with people we associate with, establishing our norms and rules. And a lot of these do come from when we're children. So some of our beliefs are formed when we're children, not necessarily our beliefs, but because they are, we hang around certain people, we create these beliefs as being our truth and our norms. What we do with these beliefs is we apply them to our past, our present, and our future. So every time you have a belief, the way you view the world will be viewed through the lens of that belief. The majority of our beliefs are unconscious, meaning we don't even think about them. These are called dispositional beliefs. Now, a dispositional belief can be something like, if it's summer and the sun's out and it's a bright, shiny day and you're outside and you look out the window, you think, oh, it's going to be a hot day today. Or if you see dark clouds in the sky, You might have a belief that you don't even question it. You might think, oh, maybe, and you know, you're going to go for a walk and it looks really black and cloudy. You might say to yourself, oh, I might take an umbrella because it's going to rain. So a dispositional belief is something that is very unconscious, it's ingrained, and we don't even think about it. We don't question it. But we also have core beliefs, and core beliefs are more conscious. They're the beliefs that we're more aware of. But the dispositional beliefs are beliefs that we've taken on even when we were children, and we don't question them whatsoever. It's just things that we believe to be true. Beliefs help us make sense of the world, and our beliefs can lead to errors in our thinking and create biases about ourselves and others and the world. Now, what tends to happen is when something occurs, what happens is that we create meaning to whatever has occurred through those beliefs. And we have these beliefs. They are important because it's how we make sense of the world. Without those beliefs, we would be in disarray and wouldn't be able to comprehend what's going on. It would take a little bit longer. But sometimes we only have, 3 or 4 seconds to make sense of what's going on. And this is how the unconscious mind actually works. So it sees something, and according to our beliefs, it will make an instant evaluation of the situation. So something I speak about quite often is the NLP communication model, which I think is really, really important to understand how beliefs affect everything else around us. One of our filters, and you can see in the middle of that head silhouette that I have there, are beliefs. Now, you often hear me talking about this. This is one of the things that I teach. We take in approximately 12 million bits of information per second. There's varying schools on how much that is. I've heard everything from, 2 million bits to 11 million bits to 16 million bits, but we take in a lot of information. Now, we don't take that in consciously. We take that in unconsciously. Your unconscious mind has to make sense of all this information coming in through our 5 senses. The first thing that the unconscious mind does, according to many filters, belief being one of them, is that it will delete everything that it thinks is not important to you. So this is why, right, you sometimes can't see things that other people see, or don't understand things the way other people understand them. The next thing it does, it distorts it. It distorts it to make sense to you. So you can see just through that your beliefs will alter the way you see the world. So the way you think about certain situations, certain type of people, will distort the way you will see a situation. So it's really important to understand that though once that information comes in and it's deleted, distorted, and then generalized meaning put together with things that are similar, we create an internal representation of what it is that we've just seen outside of ourselves. And that, coupled with our state, meaning how we feel, and our physiology, and the physiology meaning the way you hold your body. And it's very well known that if you hold your body open and upright, that your brain actually has a trigger that allows you to actually grab more information. There's a lot more that we talk about physiology in some of the trainings that we do. Now, all of these 3 put together, couple, all intermingled, will then create your behavior, and your behavior creates your results. So it doesn't matter what area of life you're looking at, your beliefs, you create the results that you get in your life, because what you see out there is your view of the world according to beliefs, values, and lots of other filters that we discuss. But tonight we are going to just speak about beliefs and values because it's really, really important. So let's have a look at values. Values are what are important to us. So not necessarily what we like or dislike. And this is a mistake that a lot of people actually make, because people think that values are what we like and what we dislike, but values are what are important to us, and they are quite deep-seated and quite unconscious, a lot of them. A lot of the time when I do work with people and we do values elicitation, it actually takes quite a while for me to be able to actually get their most important values. Now, our values are held together by a cluster of beliefs that are associated to them. So you might have something that's really important to you, and it might be something, let's say money. I'm going to use this example because this is an easy example to use. Let's say making money is really important to you, but then you have beliefs around that money is the root of all evil, that you can't make money, that money is really hard to come by. And what happens is these beliefs will actually, I suppose the best way to say is corrode that value. Because the beliefs, although money might be important to you, these beliefs actually work against that. So the way you can imagine this, the way I like to describe this and teach this, this is part of NLP training, is that if you can imagine a cup holder, the value is the cup holder itself, and the beliefs are all the cups hanging off that cup holder. So when we set goals, a lot of our goals are based on what we believe is important to us, or what we like, or what we dislike. So the beliefs will actually affect that directly. And most of the time, this is very, very unconscious. So if your beliefs do not align with your values, and your values are your core internal driver, your core motivation of why you do things. And this is interesting because sometimes a lot of people don't actually know what their values are. Their values are based on society, on what they grew up, on other people, on the people around them, and don't actually know what their internal core motivational values are. So if your beliefs and your core values, your internal drivers, do not align, you end up having an internal struggle, procrastination, stuck, unsettledness, and you just don't know what it is. And why this happens sometimes is because we have a core value, something that is really important to us, but we take on beliefs from other people. And I see these sorts of things coming up all the time. People who, really have things that are important to them, things that they want to do. They possibly want to start their own businesses, or they, have certain things that they want to do for themselves, but people around them don't accept it. And the reason why I do talk about career, business, money is because it's an easy one to talk about. But this can affect any area of your life, not just this. So an example of this is you want to start your own business and it's important to you, but your family thinks that you're crazy because you're leaving a really good job. So what happens is, what's important to you is that you do want to start your own business and do your own thing, whatever that is. But then your family around you starts telling you that it's crazy, you're in a stable job, you've got a good paying job, why would you want to leave? So there the internal struggle begins. And sometimes, even if you do decide to take that leap and leave your job and start a business, what happens is these beliefs become so ingrained that eventually the unconscious mind will always prove you right. And the other thing that the unconscious mind always does is it's there to protect you. So it will always look for the negatives. So what tends to happen is these beliefs become self-fulfilling prophecies. One of the things that I like to talk about is the shoulda, woulda, couldas, because this is really, really, really important to understand. We all have things we should have done, could have done, or would have done. And sometimes our goals are actually guided by other people rather than ourselves. Maybe society, by your family, beliefs that you had growing up, traditions, all these sorts of things. But these don't always align with your values. Like I said before, you want to go and start your own business and your family thinks you're crazy because you should be staying in a good paying job. Now, when this starts to happen, although there's something that's really important to you and you want to do, and you've got this goal of whatever it is that you want to set, and then the beliefs are not aligned with that goal, this can cause a lot of stress, anxiety, and guilt. So it's really important that if these sorts of things are coming up, that you actually begin to recognize what's actually going on for you. So since our goals don't necessarily align with our beliefs and our values, and our beliefs and values are what motivate us, we find it really hard, right? If they're not in aligned, remember the values what motivates us, we've got the beliefs hanging off it, then we create this goal that we want, and then we find it really hard to actually be motivated towards this goal or to obtain this goal because we have all these beliefs that are telling us the opposite of what it is that we want. So your goals and your beliefs must be aligned. So first and foremost, your goals must be aligned to what it is that you want and not what other people are telling you. And then your beliefs must be aligned to those goals as well. More so, if your beliefs tell you one thing and your goals another, you will have conflict. Like I said, starting my own business, one of the biggest ones that I do see all the time is usually mums who start their own business and then they start to believe that they're not going to be good mums, that they're neglecting their children if they, start their business because they can't run their business and look after their children at the same time. This creates a massive conflict for them. And so what it usually happens is the value which holds the most weight, the one that's the most important, will win out. So if a mum looking after her children and her kids are number one, doesn't matter how hard she tries on that business, it will not work because that belief that she can't do both will pull her back every single time. So believing in something different to your values makes you feel like your goals are out of your control. What tends to happen is that we think there's no choice here because you should have, you could have done this, you need to do this, this is what's meant to do, this is what's expected of me. And so what tends to happen is you tend to feel like you're out of, you have no control around what you can do. And when you begin to feel like you have no control and no choices, then you lose your motivation and your autonomy to want to go and get these goals working. So it becomes a vicious cycle. The more we believe we have choices, the more we believe that what we do because we want it, not anyone else or what society is, the more we increase our emotional well-being, and that also creates a cycle. So the cycle can either spin unresourcefully or resourcefully, depending on how you view what it is that you want to do and what beliefs are there. So this is something called self-concordance, and that's the alignment between our external goals and our internal values. So in order to achieve your external goals, you must have alignment internally, because you will be intrinsically, meaning internally motivated. And the best way to actually achieve goals is for you to be internally motivated. If you have to wait for something outside of yourself to motivate you, that's never going to work. So what you want to do is make sure that you are completely aligned, that you don't have any values that are not aligned with goals and with the beliefs. Because if you do that, and if you have to wait for someone externally to motivate you or a situation to happen outside of you, the motivation to actually create that goal doesn't happen. Because what if that external trigger doesn't happen? So you have to have a look at what is it that motivates you? What is it that you want? What beliefs are holding you back? What is this goal that you want? And how can you achieve this goal yourself without anything coming from the external? And the more you do this, the more satisfying it is for you, the better you feel, the more you feel in control, the more you feel like you have autonomy because you're your own boss. And again, this creates that cycle of repeated well-being, and your goals, you get more and more goals as you go along because you feel more confident to do your own thing. But again, if you create especially a goal that you think is the goal that you need according to society, that's probably one of the worst ones that you can do, because if you don't believe in that goal, it's something that's been, passed down to you through family, school, society, the news, or whatever it is, you will find it very, very difficult to align to that. So really, the relationship between beliefs and goals is all about your emotional well-being. It's all about how you feel. And once you're aligned and you work out if there are beliefs that aren't helping you, and you get rid of those, and I'm going to tell you how to do that in a moment, you will find that you will be more at peace and more at ease, and that your goals will come a lot easier and without you having to think about them so much, because the unconscious mind is the goal getter. So we set our goals twice. We set them with our mind, and then we have to take action. Now, remember I said that we take action because the unconscious mind filters information. So the conscious mind is the goal setter and the unconscious mind is the goal getter. So what happens is you set your goal with your conscious mind, but it's the unconscious mind that's holding all those beliefs, all those values, all those things that you might not be aware of, that is actually going to go out there and get that goal. So it's really, really important that you understand what's going on in your unconscious mind. And if you find it hard to obtain your goals, here are some tips that you can use to help you. Number one is awareness. Awareness just through asking yourself, what's really going on for me? If you set a goal and you don't get it, asking yourself, why did that happen? Why did I not get that goal? And working out whether it's a belief, whether it's a woulda, shoulda, coulda that you think you have to do, what is it that made you not get that goal? So awareness is everything. If it's a belief, you can challenge that belief. Is it real? Is that belief real, or is it something that is made up that you believe to be real from your past, or from an experience, or from when you were children, or from school, or from your family? So challenge the belief. Change your point of view. Have a look at what you're thinking when you're setting these goals and change that point of view. If you think that only certain people can get ahead, or only a specific type of person can make it out there, or can make money in their business, or only a specific sort of business can make money, maybe you need to challenge that as well and change your point of view. Excuse me. Mindfulness is paramount here. And with mindfulness, you can use meditation and mindfulness together, and journaling. Mindfulness is all about becoming quiet and really getting into what is going on for you. So whether you meditate or journaling, through that mindfulness is great. Automatic writing, journaling using automatic writing, when you don't even think about what it is that you're writing, you don't even reread it, you just allow your unconscious mind to write, is really, really good way of doing that as well. Timeline therapy, without fail, is probably the best modality that I know. I'm trained in a lot of different modalities, but it is the best modality without fail of getting rid of limiting beliefs, negative emotions from their past, content free, and when they're gone, they're gone. So if you are lucky enough to know anyone who does timeline therapy, or if it's something that you've been interested in, let me know. I do have students that work with clients as well. Happy to connect you with someone, the best student for you. When I say students, they're actually already qualified. They're not still student mode. But timeline therapy, without fail, is for me personally, the best way of getting rid of all those limiting beliefs, decisions, and aligning your values. So working with a coach, really, really important. Sometimes we can't get out of our own head. I mean, I work with a coach and I have for many, many years. It's one of the best things that I've ever done because they allow me to get out of my own head. So if you're finding yourself stuck, not being able to move forward, a coach is really, really great. Personal development. So when I talk about personal development, doing workshops, doing masterclasses, congratulations for the guys that are here watching this. This is part of your personal development, because once you hear something, you can't unhear it. And once you hear something different to what you believe, you will start to unconsciously challenge it yourself, without even realizing that that's what's happening. Okay, and that's what we call cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is when all of a sudden you feel really, really uncomfortable. So personal development of any kind is really, really good because it makes you think a little bit different. Reading new books, new things, new articles, things that you normally don't. And I love this last one because we tend to always socialize with people that are like-minded. The people that are like-minded have the same beliefs as you. So start finding some friends who are not like-minded, who will challenge your ideas and thoughts, because that is how we change our beliefs. If we have a belief and then we hang around people with the same belief, and they all think the way we do, your belief will never be challenged. So that's a really important one. So have a look at who's around you. If you're around negative people, guess what? That's going to rub off on you. So you want to align yourself with people who maybe have done what it is that you want to do, or know, how to get to where you want to go, because they will help you do that. So I'm just going to answer this one question. I am driving back home. Could I? Oh, absolutely. There will be a recording of this sent out to all of you, 100%. So that's it for me tonight. I hope that's made sense. If anyone has any questions, please yell out. If anyone would like to know more about any of these trainings that I talk about every single week, please contact us. We will be sending out a recording of this, or if you're watching this in a replay, or watching it or listening to it somewhere else on one of the many platforms that I have, please contact us. We do offer coaching, mentoring, and trainings in both the modality, in all the modalities that I speak about every single week. But if you are needing some help, if you are stuck in some limiting beliefs that you just can't seem to shift, I highly, highly recommend that you begin to do something to just allow yourself to push through. Like I said, everything and anything that challenges a belief that you have, no matter whether you do it consciously or whether you do it through some mindfulness or reading a book or working with someone, will actually begin to change your perspective. But as I say every single week, what you see out there is a complete reflection of what you hold in here. Because we cannot not be biased. Our internal filters, including our beliefs, of which kick in within a couple of seconds of us seeing something, kick in so that we can make sense of the world. So not everything that you see out there is exactly how you think it is. So being able to challenge that when something is not, if it works, great, but if it's not working, being able to challenge it is a great step in moving forward in your personal development and thus in your goal achievement. So thank you very much for being here tonight, guys. I'm going to stop the share. I really do appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you next week with another webinar. Anyone has any questions, please yell out and I will contact you either via email or some other way and answer your questions to the best of my ability. All right, guys, it's great to have you here again tonight. I will see you all again in another week. Bye for now.